T.Balasaraswati is regarded worldwide as the great exponent of Bharatanatyam and as one of the most remarkable performing artists of the 20th century. She was born into one of the last surviving matrilineal professional families of musicians and dancers in southern India, a family regarded by many as unparalleled in the known history of the arts of the South. In the 18th and 19th centuries, her ancestors were famed performers at the courts of Tanjavur and Travancore. Balasaraswati's grandmother, Veena Dhanammal, was widely regarded as one of the most influential musicians of her generation. She had a repertoire of over 1,000 compositions, representing a direct lineage to all three of Carnatic music's trinity, as well as a number of other composers. Balasaraswati's mother, Jayammal, inherited a repertoire of extraordinary character, volume, and majesty, including the repertoire of the famed Tanjavur Nattuvanar family. It was the combination of Balasaraswati and Jayammal in performance that revived the standard of music for dance that existed as a vague memory in the early 20th century. Balasaraswati's first inspiration to dance was Mylapore Gauriammal. Jayammal and her sister Lakshmi Ratnammal were musicians in Gauriammal's ensemble, and the Nattuvanar was Kanchipuram Kandappa Pillai. Jayammal selected Kandappa Pillai as Bala's guru when the young girl was 5 years old. Balasaraswati was introduced to audiences in the north after giving a concert attended by dancer Uday Shankar. Shankar's productions had been creating a sensation in Europe for almost a decade when he first toured India in 1933. Balasaraswati was presented in concert by the Music Academy. After the program, Shankar exclaimed that Bala was superb and that he had not seen such dancing anywhere else. One of the dancers in Uday Shankar's troupe was his brother Ravi Shankar. The sitarist held her music in the highest regard.
Oh, she was such a fantastic singer. So much in sur, so much in tune and emotion. And particularly this song she used to sing. Krishna
Balasaraswati is acknowledged in the West as having had a profound influence on the evolution of modern dance. Numerous artists of distinction were what they recognized as Bala's superb artistry. Among those who saw her in the first 2 years of touring outside of India were ballerina Dame Margot Fontaine, ethnic dancer La Mary, modern dance pioneer Ted Chan, and Western classical violinist Yehudi Menuhin. Modern dancer Merce Cunningham was witness to one of her first concerts in the United States in 1962. He said in an interview,
"She came out on the small makeshift stage, stood for a moment or two, looked about, and moved her feet slightly, causing the ankle bells to tinkle. Shortly, the musicians started to play and she began. The transformation into dance was instantaneous and vivid. It was as though illumination came on from all angles at once. Here was Bharatanatyam done in full splendor and magnificence, and here was a dancer such as one rarely had opportunity to see."
Anna Kisugov, chief dance critic of the New York Times, spoke about Bala at the Asia Society in New York.
Any great artist is a teacher. I first saw her in the 1970s, and she revealed to me something I had not previously suspected, which was that the sacred origins of Hindu dance could be revealed to audiences in the West. I had previously seen it mainly as an aesthetic experience. When I saw her, I suddenly realized where the sacred origins of Bharatanatyam lay, and it was only through her own performances and nobody else's.
Charles Weinhardt, director of the American Dance Festival, made the first arrangements for Bala to tour the US in 1962.
Whatever it is, I don't think there are too many people watching dance who would call themselves experts on it, whether it's ballet or modern or Spanish or whatever. So that when a Bala comes along, granted they may have lost some of the intricacies of the dance movements, but the genius that was Bala came soaring across those footlights like a sledgehammer. Boom! You watch Bala in the beginning and you wonder what's happening. And then she slowly begins to warm up. You know, she starts a little back, and then she slowly begins to build. And then all of a sudden, something happens in you when you realize your eyes widen, your mouth opens a little bit, and you realize, my goodness, this is as good as it's ever going to be.
The Balasaraswati School of Classical Indian Music and Dance was opened at the Madras Music Academy in 1953, supported by a grant from the Sangeet Natak Academy. One of the students in her classes was Ranjani Shankar.
She taught us dance, but added to that, she taught us to do it perfectly, to do it the best way we could.
One of Bala's American students, Louise Scripps, first saw her perform at the same concert attended by Merce Cunningham.
Watched completely dazed because it didn't seem to me that there was any way I could do that. I'd say, oh, please, Ma, I don't think I can do it. She said, do, you mad thing. Simply do it.
After Balasaraswati's first residency at UCLA in 1965, she invited her daughter Lakshmi to assist her in teaching. This began the formal training of her protege and successor, and ensured that her dance legacy would continue.
I was hearing all that music, seeing all that dancing, and also I used to watch Bala very carefully because I just used to love watching her dance. Sometimes I would complain to my grandmother. I said, oh, why are you not teaching me today? What happened? My grandmother, used to... She said, no, I don't have to teach you. I didn't learn it that way. My mother never taught me anything.
Lakshmi's determination and devotion enabled Bala to continue teaching and performing as her health and strength deteriorated during the 1970s. Lakshmi's successor was her son Aniruddha, who gave his Arangetram at the Madras Music Academy in 1994. His first US performance was in 1997 at Jacob's Pillow, where his grandmother had presented her first American concert in 1962. Since her early childhood, Balasaraswati had longed to perform before the idol at Udupi, her beloved Krishna. Bala was flushed with excitement when she arrived. She sang and danced Krishnani Begane Bar. Balasaraswati performed Krishnani many times during her career, and it became one of the best-known compositions in her repertoire. Her delight that day was in the satisfaction that Udupi Krishna, the object of her adoration as a child, had finally seen her dance.